Om Sai Ram. Welcome back to the fifth part of the total of 6 parts in which we have divided your second chapter of your PUC 2 book Sociology, and the chapter's name is Social Inequality, Exclusion and Inclusion. Up till now we talked about what is social inequality and what are the factors that are contributing towards it, and the different groups that are getting excluded out of the mainstream development. Last class we talked about social tribes, scheduled tribes and their problems. In this class we are going to take the third part of this term, other backward classes, which is the other backward classes and their problems and some policies that government has come up with to bring them back into the mainstream. Before we begin, let us go back to the questions that I had asked you. Hope you have tried to find the answers. Let us match your answers with the correct answers. So, who gave the tribal Panchshila? Yes, it was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. What are the changing concepts of a tribe? Now, there are 4 features or the 4 topics that were given, under which how tribes was before and what are the changes that have come up. So, in that there were tribe as a homogeneous group, self-contained unit, tribe as a political division, tribe as a race, tribe and scheduled tribe, these 4 points. Now, what are the 3 policies of tribal welfare? Policy of isolation, policy of assimilation and policy of integration. So, what are we learning today? So, we will learn problems of other backward classes and the criteria of backwardness. How do we decide that this particular section or a group will be a part of the backward class? That is called the criteria. Under that we will study 2 commissions that were set up by the government. First one was Kalelkar Commission and second one Mandal Commission. Then we will talk about the creamy layer, and in the end we will talk about the Karnataka State Backward Class Commission. So, let us move on with the topic. So, what are the problems that these other backward classes face? The problem with this particular category is it is not very clearly defined who constitutes this backward class. So, there is a bit of disparity, discrepancy, because of which they are not very definite kind of a category, and there are other problems also. There is a problem of economic backwardness, there is a problem of educational and social backwardness, and another problem is that they are politically also unorganized, because they are not taken as a single unit, they are diverse. That is why they are not able to be organized together. Let us take the first problem. OBCs constitute an indefinite, abstract, unorganized category. So, here the Kalelkar Commission was appointed to take out a list of backward communities. It reported 2,399 as backward castes in 1955. The government rejected it. The second backward class commission came as the Mandal Commission, which listed 3,743 in January 1979. Most of the OBC communities are strangers to each other. As we discussed that there is no unified category, no standardized criteria to choose these OBCs. So, they are not of one singular characteristic. So, they are scattered all over India with much diversity, and it is difficult to unite them. No common awareness regarding their own problems, because they are so diverse, they do not think, they do not take themselves as one single group. That is why they cannot think of common problems. Second is economic backwardness. Like SC and ST, this category too is economically backward. A large number of unemployed and underemployed are found in this category. Few are self-employed majority of them are working for poor wages. Then sizable numbers of they are economically exploited. That means they are not paid proper salaries, proper wages, and more work is taken from them. So, they do not have a very sound backup, economic backup. They are basically economically backward. That is the other criteria. Then there is educational and social backwardness. So, here illiterates are found in large numbers in this category, and number of highly educated is very low. They are not treated as untouchables, but are highly distanced from the forward castes. And the fourth problem is that they are politically unorganized. So, OBCs are comparatively disorganized because they do not form a single caste. No single backward caste is numerically dominant in any province. Hence, they are not able to work as a powerful pressure group. So, they cannot act as a pressure group because they are not united. So, their problems remain unheard of. So, let us see how are these classes identified. How do we identify these groups of people whom we are going to put in the category of OBCs or other backward classes. Now, this we have gathered for some extra information, so that you have a better understanding. OBC is a collective term used to describe the socially and educationally disadvantaged groups. This list is maintained by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So, there is a ministry with this name. They look into who will be selected for this category and who will not be selected. And it is a dynamic list. That means it is always changing. It is not a fixed list. Some categories will be added, others can be deleted also. First Backward Class Commission was set up by a presidential order under Article 340 of the Constitution of India in 1953. It was known as Kalelkar Commission under the chairmanship of Shri Kaka Kalelkar. It was appointed to prepare a list of communities to be added in the category of OBCs. Now, criteria for backwardness, Mandal Commission. This came into existence in 1979 under the chairmanship of B.P. Mandal. One of the objectives of this commission was to set a criteria for backwardness, and the commission listed 3,743 castes and recommended 27% reservation for other backward classes for government jobs or admission in government educational institutions. The commission found 11 criteria for determining the social, economic or educational backwardness. So, what was the criteria that was used to select the backward class as suggested by the Mandal Commission? So, this criteria was classified into three categories: social criteria, educational criteria and economic criteria. If one particular caste fulfills these criteria, then only it can be added into this category of OBCs. So, what is the social criteria? Social criteria refer to social backwardness. It should be considered by others. That means, people should be called socially backward by their circumstances. They should be dependent on manual labor. That means, they are working through their hands. Then marriage below 17 years, this kind of child marriage should be very rampant in this criteria. So, 25% of girls, 10% of boys, and in rural areas 10% and 5% in urban areas. So, some demographic facts, some kind of statistics is given here. Then female work population is 25% above the state level. So, that means whatever is the state levels statistics, here the female work population will be 25% above of it. Then only it can be considered a social criteria to be added into the category of OBCs. Then we have educational criteria. here we have many dropouts and the people not attending, those who have attended the schools between 5 years to 15 years. And this low literacy or no literacy should be 25% above the state level. So, whatever is if it is 100 state level illiteracy, then there should be 125 in this category. Then this particular section will be taken as OBC. Then student dropout rate is 25% above the state average, matriculation rate 25% below the state average. That means there are more children than the state average, 25% more, those who are not completing even matriculation, education up till matriculation 2. Then third criteria is the economic criteria. Here average value of family assets is 25% below the state average. So, whatever is the general earnings of the family all around the state, they are 25% below of that. So, they come under this economic criteria of the social backwardness Then they are living in kacha houses. Again it is 25% above the state average. So, those many people who are living in kacha houses, this particular category should be 25% more than the state level. Then sources of drinking water is beyond 500 meters for more than 50%. That means what? Where they go to fetch water, it should be 500 meters beyond where they are living, and such people should be 50%. Then it makes the economic criteria. Consumption of loan by household is 25% above the state average. So, that means these people are depending more on loan as compared to the state average. Now, how were the calculations done? So, some idea about that. 3 points each for social indicators. So, if one particular family is falling into this social backwardness, there will be 3 points each. Whenever you say one yes for this particular disability, then there will be 3 points given to you. Then 2 points each for educational indicators. So, if you see in that particular family there is a dropout or there is somebody who has not completed education up till matriculation, 2 points each. 1 point each for economic indicator. So, any caste getting more than 11 points are counted as backward. Less than 11 point or up till 11 points, they are not considered as backward. So, I hope you have got some idea about how they calculate this backwardness. Now came this concept of creamy layer. So, what is this creamy layer? This term was first used by Satyanathan Commission in 1971. So, the creamy layer is used to refer to the wealthier and better educated members of the other backward classes. So, in this category also there will be some members who are better educated and who are wealthier. So, it was decided they will not be a part of this particular group. So, this group is not eligible for government sponsored educational and professional benefits. Just now we saw Mandal Commission also suggested some kind of benefits for this particular group, some concessions, but these creamy layer, as they are well off people, they are wealthier people, they will not be a part of those kind of concessions from the government. The Satyanathan Commission directed that the creamy layer should be excluded from the reservation or what we call quotas of civil posts and services granted to the OBC. So, what were the recommendations of this Mandal Commission? This commission that was set up to understand this backward category and the people who will be a part of it. So, what were the recommendations? After they had a study, they gave some recommendations to the government. According to them, the Supreme Court gave judgment on Mandal Commission's recommendation on November 15th, 1992. The court accepted the policy of 27% reservation for backward classes or castes in central and state government jobs, with certain directives of changes in the policy. And the creamy layer should be excluded from the reservation, as we have already discussed. There are certain jobs which are very sensitive. They should also not be based on caste criteria or class criteria. They should be given to the professional people, those who can handle it. So, who were those professional people? Armed forces, those who look after the safety and welfare of our country. And we have scientists, university professors, pilots, etc. Those who deal with many people, they should be skilled, and it should not be based on some other criteria such as backwardness. So, this particular category was excluded from the purview of caste reservation. So, the Supreme Court recognized only 1238 castes or classes as OBC and reservation only as the first appointment, that is, one person of the family will be given the reservation for the first appointment, not for the second one. The court directed the reservation criteria should not go beyond 50%. That means, if you include all, that is scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes, it should not go total more than 50%, because otherwise it will impact the other general category also. So, high post in the creamy layer was identified. High professionals such as doctor, lawyers, chartered accountant, whose annual income was more than 1 lakh a month, were also included in the creamy layer. That would mean the ones who were included in the creamy layer were excluded from the benefits the government was imparting towards them. Then political posts such as Prime Minister, Union Minister, CMs, other ministers, etc. were not included in the creamy layer category. So, they were still open for the backward classes. Now, let us come to the Karnataka State Backward Class Commission. So, this Backward Class Commission came as an act of 1995 to constitute a commission for the backward classes of Karnataka with the objective of bringing the backward classes to an equal platform with the higher castes and the classes in order to enable them to avail opportunities which they have been deprived of for a long time and which generally was enjoyed by the higher castes and classes. So, trying to bring some kind of equality between them. We have been talking about inequality and exclusion. Now, some kind of equality is being brought in through these kind of commissions. And to help the backward classes to develop and contribute with their potentialities in the process of national development. So, this particular group should also contribute to the national development. So, how was this board set up? What was the background, Karnataka State Backward Class Commission? So, it all started with this particular group made by these classes such as Vokaligas, Lingayats and Muslims of Mysore. They formed a group called Prajamitra Mandali in 1917 and requested the Maharaja of Mysore for their representation in legislature and reservation in the post of public services and in educational institutions, because these were the castes that were lagging behind. So, they wanted some kind of equality. This is about Karnataka. So, they requested the Maharaja of Mysore to bring some kind of compensation for the inequality that they faced. In 1918, a committee of 6 members was set. It was presided over by Sir Leslie Miller. The committee recommended the acceptance of all the demands. Since then, backward classes in princely Mysore state have availed benefits in the field of education, employment and political arena. That means, they have a political representation also. So, this Karnataka State Backward Class Commission, it is we have taken these 4 commissions out of this Karnataka State Backward Class Commission. So, the first one is Naganna Gowda Commission, second is LG Havanur Commission, and C is Venkataswamy Commission and D is Chinnappa Reddy Commission. So, let us go through them one by one. So, the first one is Naganna Gowda Committee. So, Karnataka government appointed a backward class commission in 1960 under the chairmanship of Dr. Naganna Gowda. It recommended reservation of 15% for the SC, 3% ST, 30% OBC. So, the total of 68% of reservation they were asking for. Their report was stayed by the Supreme Court. Stayed by meaning the Supreme Court did not take any action on that and it stopped. It just did not make any decisions on this committee's recommendations. 1963, government issued an order guaranteeing 15% reservation for SC, 3% ST and 30% of OBC. So, that makes it 48%. Now, we come to LG Havanur Commission. It was set up in 1972 and this was as a second commission appointed by the government. It was headed by Shri LG Havanur. According to the report submitted in 1975, 75% of the state, people of the state belonged to the backward classes who deserved reservation. However, due to lack of such provision, only 50% reservation was recommended. So, the government's suggestion for 58% reservation was turned down by the Supreme Court. So, you can guess the reason, because there was lot of agitation that goes on when these kind of decision come for the public, because who will be impacted directly? The general category, those who do not belong to the lower castes or the backward classes, they will be impacted, because now their share, a fair share is given to the backward classes. 58% of the entire availability of government jobs and all, it is all given to the backward classes. So, the general classes are protesting against it. Then came third, the Venkateswamy Commission in 1983. So, it gave its report in 1986 and it also recommended 68% of reservation. The report created widespread agitation in the state, as you can understand. The government decided not to implement the recommendation, but to set up one more committee. So, what happens generally when these kind of reservations and these kind of benefits are meted out to this particular group, then many groups were vying to be in this category of OBC, because they all wanted to take the benefit of these kind of reservations. So, that is why there was some false categories also, probably those who were trying to enter into this particular category of other backward classes. So, another committee that was set up was Chinnappa Reddy Commission. This commission came in 1990, which was more widely welcomed. SC, ST together enjoyed 18% and OBC quota 32%. After that was a backward class commission by the government of Karnataka. It was based on Mandal Commission report. So, the Supreme Court of India directed to establish a permanent backward class commission in the center, states and union territories. So, now there will not be any changing commissions, there will be one permanent commission which will look into the requirement and the criteria for the backward classes. So, what was this Karnataka State Backward Class Commission? According to a permanent backward class commission that was set up in Karnataka, it has been presided over by various persons since 1994. You have all those names in your chapter. The present leader is Shri H. Kantaraj as the chairperson of Karnataka State Backward Class Commission. So, the commission recommends inclusion or exclusion of caste in the backward caste list. So, they may decide, they only will tell which particular caste or class will be included in the backward list or which will be excluded, which does not fulfill the criteria of being included into this list of backward classes. Up till now, 101 and 51 are listed as SC and ST respectively. So, this was the end of your chapter. Some questions again we will be asking you. So, please try to find the answers of these questions. So, what are these questions? Mention the problem of the other backward classes. So, all those 4 problems that we mentioned, that you have to understand. What are the criteria of social backwardness according to the Mandal Commission? So, out of those 3 criteria, you have to choose the social backwardness and then see how it has been calculated. Then what is the creamy layer? You have to define the creamy layer and who coined this term. which was the first committee that was set up to identify and enlist the other backward classes, and when was it set up? So, these are some of the questions you have to find the answers of, and then we will see you again very soon. Your chapter is finished, but we would be now taking up some important questions, and we will be summarizing. It is a very long chapter. So, we would like to summarize it for you for an easier understanding. So, we will meet again for the next and the concluding part of this second chapter. So, till then, take good care of yourself and study the chapter well and do the questions that we have.